Alrighty. Are we live? Yes, we are live. Let's just adjust this music. Good evening. Hopefully someone has joined. I have no idea. Nobody's saying anything. And that is perfectly fine. Yeah, let me just get started with my stuff. Let's do this. Alrighty. So let's close some of this stuff. Just my Danish lessons. I had Danish school today. Recently came back. Alright, so we're going to start with Programmer Network and then hopefully continue with our Kubernetes stuff. Mic volume is a little bit low, really? Are you sure it's not you? Yeah, yeah. I think it's probably you, Doru. I don't think it's... I can see it quite high. Is anyone else... Marulo, my friend, is my microphone too low? Yeah, it's you. Of course it's you. Noob. Fucking noob, man. I love you, dude. But you're still a noob. But I love you. But you're a noob. But I love you. Okay. So let's start with Programmer Network. More specifically... It's okay. It's okay. You broke me. I broke Vittoria now. She's also saying, it's okay. It's okay. You broke us, man. And I broke you as well. That's what friendship is, I guess. Breaking each other. I love you, man. I do. And I miss you. All right. So one of the people, and I knew this for this bug, Borna has reported, why do I have to refresh site to see my picture? And he's right. So let's fix that tiny bug. Let's start with that. So we can see actually if I log in, right, that the avatar here is not correct. So let's fix that, right? So let's actually see what happens when we log in, right? So the easiest way to do that is that we take a look at our Redux store. We just clean all of the dispatches over there and we log in, and then we see when we log in, most likely the avatar itself is not updated, right? So here we have auth pending, auth fulfilled. Let's take a look at this action. So once it was fulfilled, that means we've gotten something from the backend. And as we can see, most likely we haven't gotten back the avatar, right? So we can see social profiles, but I don't see the avatar here. ID, username, blah, 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 right? So if we now take a look at the state and the user and data, we can see that the avatar is actually empty. Vlada, my friend, good evening. A little bit less than a month, Vlado, and we see each other, man. Can't wait, dude. Okay, so let's fix that. So we can clearly see that once we log in, that our API doesn't respond. The schema doesn't respond with the schema. Doesn't respond with that thing. So let's go to login in our API. Let's take a look at the schema first, and then let's take a look at the query. So do we have the avatar in the user properties schema? Avatar, yes we do. but most likely then it's in the controller somewhere. So if we take a look here at this, what? Oh, okay, I see, I see. Yeah, so avatar for sure is not here. We can see that. Okay, that's a little bit weird. So let's take a look at that. So login, we have the schemas here. Login schema response is here. User response schema properties, we say include these and email as well. Avatar type string. All right. C1, oh my god, dude, I haven't seen you in ages. You good, buddy? What's up? How's life? Let me just print this. How are you, man? Or maybe I have seen you lately, but I don't think so. I think it's been a while since we saw each other. But yeah, thanks for passing by, man. Not much, man. Not much. Just work and family and kid and Danish schools. Trying to learn the language better after all these years. Sometimes streaming, not that often anymore. Just unfortunately other priorities. But yeah, sums it up pretty much. What? Oh, I printed the wrong thing. My bad. What about you, man? What is up? Avatar ID is here, okay. Huh, interesting. And avatar is undefined. Oh, I see. So it's probably because how the virtual properties are actually... Ah, I see. So if we go to user model and we search for avatar, right, this is a virtual field, right? So most likely these virtual fields are not evaluated in the way that we think. So we have an avatar ID, and then I try to evaluate it here, concatenate it with the Cloudflare URL. So yeah, that seems to be an issue, right? So this raw.user doesn't execute virtuals. Let's confirm that with someone way smarter than me, the AI. Yeah, for sure, right? It seems that this getter in SQLize.js doesn't evaluate my virtual field in the model. Is that true? Yes, that is correct. And using SQLize, the behavior of get method with the plain and raw options may cause issues with virtual fields defined in the model. Virtual fields in SQLize are fields that do not exist exactly, of course, like any other virtual fields in the database, but instead computed based on the attributes they're creating using SQLize virtual. Yes, they are. When calling get with the plain and raw true options simultaneously, SQLize bypasses additional processing. Of course it does. Solution, keep this if you want a plain object. Okay, so if we just get rid of the raw, right? Potentially could solve our issue, right? Okay, right, let's try that again. Login. I at Alexander XYZ, password, Nice. Okay, and I think we fixed this little bug we had. So now the avatar should be resolved in theory. And if we take a look for it somewhere, avatar, avatar ID, not quite. Where's the avatar? Yeah, here it is. Okay, so now it's actually evaluating the avatar. If we click it. Craft friend, good evening. Thank you for coming, as of course, as always. All right, this is amazing. Okay, so let's nvm use. Let's pm format, because our formatting doesn't work in this project for some reason, and I don't have the time to fix that now, nor I care. What the heck has changed in here? I don't see any changes. Show white space differences. Okay, I see. I just started the stream like a minute, like when was it, 5-10 minutes ago. So just to fix this bug that Chica reported. I knew it for a long time, I just never actually cared to fix it, honestly. So, but yeah, fix here was quite simple. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so let's push this to production. Phil, my friend, good evening. I love when people tell me their names, so I don't have to call them by these childish Twitch names. Core count, his name is Phil, just FYI. Shit, there's a lot of dependencies here that we could in theory update, right? Okay, let's ask the AI. Maybe there's some recent, maybe there were a few of the libraries before. I have around 60 mostly duplicated PRs opened on my React project to update dependencies. Is there some recent or well-known npm package to help me with that? Lays. Okay, I haven't heard about this. npm lays. What is that? Lays. Wow, 100 downloads. NCU, yeah, this thing I've used. Yeah, I think we probably actually have it also installed here. NCU, yeah, we do. I mean, we could try in theory, right? But yeah, shit. Renovate, I haven't heard about this one. Yeah, shit. Instantly a massive no. I think we could do that, yeah. NCU update. Let's give it a shot. I mean, pnpmi. Now let's see if everything still works or not. Okay, pnpm dev. C1, I didn't create it, luckily, thanks God. It is called Lobe Chat, and I'm just using an OpenAI key with it. This is a huge open source project. So you can see it has 45,000 stars. So that's what I'm using, pretty much, yeah. Of course, man, thank you. Thank you for asking. All right, well, that's pretty awesome, man. Let's see, where is this project? Let's just starting the stream. Let's see what we've done here. So we've done, yeah, obviously this and that. What happened to the mock Service worker, have we actually updated that as well? One was shit. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, what happened here? Let's see. Yeah, we need to log these versions, right? We can't have them open like that. That is incredibly annoying. But sometimes you'll just, Mora, hey buddy, good to see you. So yeah, you see these like carrots, right? We can't have that. We can't have that. Also, we have an issue here now. More info. So deprecation, SAS import rules are deprecated and will be removed in Dart. Okay. That's a bit weird, really. Yeah, that's a little bit weird. But alright, whatever. Root style sheet. Yeah, let's just rm lock and let's pmi again. And then we'll push this to production. Hopefully this is gonna work. I'm not actually fully sure, but that would be an easy one. Unmet. Yeah, there's a bunch of the unmet dependencies. I'm a bit worried about that. Unmet storybook, unmet, found. Yeah, so storybook 845. React, storybook. Let's take a look at these things. Just start easy today. Storybook React Vite. Latest is 8.4.5. That's what we've got, right? But it's saying there's an appear dependency. And yeah, so we have it seems quite newer version of Vite. So in simple words, do I have a storybook as part of this project? I suppose I do. Let's see if that still works, actually. Actually it does. Okay, interesting. Even though yeah, okay, that's good. That's great. That's super. Okay. But we actually don't need that anyway. We have our, okay. So sure, let's see what we've done here. Roll bar, and roll bar actually I'm gonna get rid of. So actually today we might either go back to Kubernetes, hopefully, but I think actually it's been so long since we cleaned up some of the stuff in this project and stuff. So what I'm actually gonna do, I'll npm remove rollbar and we'll set up centric.js instead. I just wanted to try rollbar for the sake of, well, trying some other alternative. We'll remove it from the course so we no longer want to. Okay, good. Is there any other reference of rollbar here? Yeah, there are some. Shit. Rollbar provider. Rollbar provider. That we've nuked already, right? Rollbar error boundary. Shit, I thought that we already had some error boundary, but we don't. Crap. Yeah, I did have an error boundary, so why am I not importing this? Yeah, we do have an error boundary. Yeah, here it is. Oh, it's because it's not taking this thing anymore, right? Wow, this is a strange one. Oh, I see. This was for some sort of caching or whatever. Very interesting. Okay. Yeah, I see. All right, let's just nuke this, I suppose, because how are we supposed to pass an error from the outside? It makes no sense, right? Other than actually maybe have we been wrapping this error boundary? Oh yeah, because I see. Okay, never mind. All good, all good. So I'll just get rid of this and these guys here, and that. And then, yeah, I guess we can also get rid of this, right? Well, we removed children. That was a bit too much, wasn't it? All right, actually, we'll just nuke that. Fuck it. And then we'll add sentry most likely. All right, so that's good. And that's good as well. Is there any other roll bar references? Scroll bar, let's just search for literal thing. Roll bar react, pnpm remove that. Okay, cool. All right, great. All right, super. All right, so let's see what is this break and change import and global built-in functions. Originally, SAS used import rules to load other files with a single global namespace. With all built-in functions also available globally, we're deprecating both SAS import rules and global built-in functions now that use and forward rules has been available for several years. Import causes numerous problems requiring SAS members to manually namespace to avoid conflicts, slowing down a compilation. So so which rule are we supposed to use then? I don't know if anyone knows. Oh, this is the API. Let's close that for now. Actually, was our API deployed? I suppose it was, right? API. Let me also just link this here. I always forget. Oh, shit, this is the wrong project. Crap. API. Yeah. Actions. Did we deploy that 2 minutes ago? Yes. Perfect. Okay, let me just see if that's fixed. And it is. Okay, great. Super. Awesome. Okay, so npm install SAS migrator module migrate depths your entry point as CSS. What is my entry point? I don't even know. src SCSS, I guess. Oh, I see. So this is my entry point. Okay, let's try that. I've never used this migrator before. So let's come here and say pnpmi-g SAS migrator. And let's give it a, so it's src assets. Okay. So it's going to be migrate depths, src assets, scss index. Oh, meta load CSS. What? Really? Okay, I need to read a little bit about that. Really? And what does that do? Okay, wow. Yeah, it's I've never seen, but I think this is a SAS mixin. It's not like a native API of the browser or whatever. It's their own mixin. What was it? Meta load CSS. Meta. In contrast to import rule to import, it says the newer use rule can only be used at the top level of file before any statement using the inside CSS import. But this is still a way for scoped imports. The meta load CSS function allows you to import the CSS file inside a CSS selector and scope it to that selector. Oh, I see. This is almost like a shadow DOM from a native web components, from Polymer and stuff like that, right? I mean, to be honest, I don't care. It's nothing major, right? We're probably not going to see this in a long time again. So, but yeah, it's something that that's good that we migrated away. So I'm just gonna, yeah. So we might, yeah. So we use this Sass meta, whatever, and then so let's deploy this to production immediately. And let's just type to Chica that this is fixed. So let's go to production and let's say, thanks for reporting. The issue has been fixed. There we go. Cool. All right. That's great. Yeah, I don't know if I'll just skim through here. We should at this point really have most of the dependencies, if not all. React, router, DOM. What? Oh, never mind. We did upgrade it. Okay. So yeah, so we did in fact probably, let's just close them. Front end, the right, yeah. Or maybe something was being deployed, right, at the moment when I clicked. Yeah, most likely. Nice, okay. Cool. All right, and let me just close these. I suppose all of this should now, in theory, be updated. Let's search for Redux here. Yeah, we got all the latest stuff. Okay, cool. Raj, good evening, buddy, on YouTube. Let me also maybe move this chat somewhere else, like maybe. All right, cool. That's great. Super. So that's good. We fixed all these things now. Cool. Let's actually, it's been so long since we've taken a look at our backlog here, because I had a huge backlog of things, right? Syncing GitHub repositories is broken. So actually we fixed this one last time I streamed 2 days ago, I believe. So let's just say here status is done. Roadmap before new features. All right, yeah, cool. So one thing that I want us to start doing also is, I mean, there's so many things we need to improve, but first and foremost, I need to clean these meetups from here, the demo ones. But then I need to create one for my stream. So whenever I stream, you guys can actually find it here. So what if I say, yeah. And we need to test that. It's been so long since I actually have tested that. Programmer network live stream is the stream in which we build this very platform. Let's just test this wallpapers maybe. Okay, that's not so great, is it? Let's see what happens if we try to upload. I don't know if we ever actually finished that, so we'll need to check. Okay. It's been a while, okay. Then we say, okay, let's imagine I would stream tomorrow. Okay, when at, let's say tomorrow I would stream, let's imagine at, let's say 22:00, okay. And then let's imagine I would stream until midnight, right? A live stream, okay. Remote address. I don't actually remember. Yeah, address is a little bit weird because it shouldn't appear now if it's a live stream, right? Spots, yeah, so we can see that there are certain things that shouldn't really be mandatory. Live stream with Alex. This is the regular stream that we often have. In this stream, we will be going back to our Kubernetes K3s setup with Ansible, Longhorn, PG, native operator, traffic ingress, and metal load balancer. Okay, so that's not quite. So we need to kind of get back to this a bit, right? Because we can see that this probably farted out. Let's take a look at our logs. Yeah, it's been very, very long. Get, let's see what happened. Get. Request ID post. So actually, ironically, we did create it, but it's no longer referenced here. So let's take a look at our database. Let's open a new window for API. So let's go and open our API, right? Take a look at the local database. So local host from our Docker, hopefully. This is the API. Where's our Postgres container? Here's our Postgres container. Yeah, that's slightly weird. Okay. The port seems different. Let's actually double check that. Or is it this one? Oh, it's this one. Okay. Interesting. Ah, my bad. All right. So if we go and take a look at meetup events, right, over here. Meetup events. Connection. So what's up with these connection timeouts? I wonder. Nginx. Okay, so these are all of the events, mostly faker generated. And then this is the one. This is ours, right? Let's expand it. So this is what we've created. Organizer meetup ID 1. Okay, so that seems wrong, no? Because this is the meetup number 1, right? Yeah. So it seems to me that if we go to meetups and take a look at this one, this is the upcoming event we've created. Okay, that's interesting. All right, so let's take a look at our backend, right? Let's go to meetups router, I suppose, right? Let's search for, actually we have our Swagger, don't we, right? So let's be smart there. So let's open our Swagger. Let's go to meetups, meetups, yes, here. Then here we must have a post to, this is to join the meetup, this is the put, and I suppose, yeah, this is the update. So yeah, it's this one. So create an event, right? So this is how we create a meetup event, right? Let's write this one here. So if we go to the router and search for events, post, events, slug, get event, attend event, create event. It's this one here, right? And then here we have a decorator, right? In Fastify, we have this concept of decorators. It's like a semi-middleware in Express, for example. So if we go to decorators, you can see here that, and this is fundamentally, this is a very nice pattern. This is why Fastify is so amazing. You can see before we execute any code on the route, on the controller level, we say, hey, well, wait a minute. Let's first see if you can actually create an event. Are you the owner of the meetup for which you're trying to create this event? So we have this decorator that we can then reuse across all of our controllers or routers on a different level, either on the router level or controller level. All right, meetup organize. So yeah, we check the slug of the meetup, right? And then we say, hey, is the organizer of the meetup the user that's logged in? If not, then, well, screw you, Alex, right? Okay. Then we start the transaction in here. We get the data. We find the meetup by the request parameters, yeah. Okay, so let's take a look at it again. Transaction, get all the data from the body, find the meetup by the meetup slug, request parameters, meetup slug, yes. And actually, if we go over here to the front end again, we can see that if we go to the creation of the meetups, if we go to our dashboard, I guess, and then we go meetups, and then over here, we'll basically see that this is my, this here is my, I've been writing Node.js almost since very early days. I've been using Happy.js, Express, built my own Express frameworks and libraries and stuff, but Fastify is truly amazing. And it's no wonder, right? Because Matteo Colina, a guy who wrote it, it's also a person who often streams here in Twitch. This is the only stream I would actually recommend. It's a very similar stream to mine. No bullshit, like no clowning, no shitting on things. He just codes. He's probably one of the biggest experts in Node.js currently on the planet. He's also in the Node.js committee, and he built a lot of tools, you know, Pinolog, he wrote it in C, Fastify, let's just advertise the guy. Let's give him here's Matteo, and Matteo is truly brilliant individual, and he's now building a company called Platformatic. This company essentially helps you to scale your Node.js. I'm not a fan of these types of solutions because I don't really need this, but if you are, let's say, beginner to mid-level and you don't like to deal with infrastructure, you just like to build things and you want to leave infrastructure to other people, this is a great thing to give it a shot. Let me share it. I have no affiliation with Matteo. In fact, I wish that I did. But I would definitely try this out. He just raised, I believe, 2 or 3 million euros or dollars for this product. So actually, at one point in the stream, maybe we can invite Matteo. I already spoke to him on his stream a couple of months ago, so maybe we can try that. But either way. All right, going back to, and anyway, what I was saying, he built Fastify, so he's the guy who built Fastify and the whole community around it. So I always like to, I'm trusting the people, not the product itself. So I know when Matteo builds something, or at least when he starts it, that it's gonna hold up to some standards at the very least, right? So yeah. Water, the best thing on earth. Okay, so going back to this, so yeah, so we find this crap, and that's good, right? Then we create an event. We say that organizer is me, the logged in user. Sure, the meetup ID is this meetup that we just found, which is also true. Then I set myself to be attending. So of course I'm the creator of the event, so of course that I'm going to be attending. So let's see, it's either I'm blind, I maybe misclicked, or something did go wrong. So let's try that again. So I'm going to go here, organize an event. I'll just call it testing again, because maybe I'm hallucinating a little bit. I had a long day at work and been to Danish school and stuff like that. So let's just, it doesn't really matter, right? Let's just create some crap. So remote, address, whatever. Event URL, programmer network, spots, whatever. Okay, let's see what we've sent. We've sent meetup ID 1. Yeah. Okay, so that is wrong. Well, first and foremost, if I'm already sending the meetup ID, then in that case, we don't need a slug, right? So let's take a look at the front end, right? So I suppose somewhere in my front end, I have something like create event or create meetup event. Let's take a look at that. Create meetup event. Yeah, here we have some service. Yeah. So we have a very simple service here that calls our endpoint, sends some body. What is this body? Optional ID. Okay. Yeah, it would have been better maybe if this is called meetup ID to be more clear. Okay. Doesn't really matter. Let's go back here. And then if we go to event form, just clean that up. Okay. So we have handle create meetup event. Form data. Let's take a look at the form. This is also one of the libraries I built. This is a validation library I built for this very platform. Give it a shot, especially if you're writing Fastify. It's going to be amazing for your use case. It's not a shameless promotion. I actually don't care if you use it. It's just I've been using it now for all of my projects for validation, and it's quite awesome. So give it a shot. Okay, going back to this. So we have the form, we have the initial state. Okay, and this data here is going to be the data for editing. So that's not it, right? Event form. Okay, so where do we in fact meetup slug, the body. Yes, I don't see ID anywhere in here. That's really weird. Okay. Oh, this is create meetup. Why am I looking at that? I don't care about create meetup. Create meetup event. This is what I care about. Yeah, handle create. And I don't see the ID here either. I also don't see the ID in here, do I? No. So how the hell did this ID then? How did we... Actually, no, we didn't send the ID, no. We responded with the ID of 1, meetup ID 1. And if we take a look at, okay, so never mind. So the front end is actually fine, right? If we take a look at this, and if we search for meetups in the database, not meetup events, yeah. So if you take a look at the meetups, meetup with an ID 1 is not the one that we created the event for. So there's probably a bug in why is this timing out? Why are we timing out when it comes to this thing? Should I give me 2 seconds? Localhost. Yeah, I don't know. Super weird. Okay, so we can see that this is the meetup ID of the one that we've created for is this one. The one we created has meetup ID of 6, right? So we can see that there's 100% a bug because we have just created it again for this one, testing again. Okay, that's a very simple one. It's just a little bit weird why it happened. So, okay, so let's go again to the controller, and let's see here again. Create event. So the only assumption I can make is that this finds the wrong one. There's no really other explanation for it, right? And I think there's something with our Docker network and stuff that it seems that hitting up our container from this host is taking really long. I don't know why. Okay, but either way, let's take a look at the decorators again. So meetup slug, meetup ID from query. Organizer ID meetup. Okay, so do I have some junction table? I actually don't remember. Because how the hell am I storing meetup ID in this table? I don't think that there is such a thing. So unless I have a junction table, No, sorry, this is a meetup. Okay, my bad. So meetup event. Summary, blah, 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 event type, meetup ID, organizer ID. All right, I think I'm running this Docker thing in a debug mode, right? I think we do have a debugger here. Let's actually see if we can attach ourselves to that. Then we can try debugging this a bit. Let's see if there's something funky happening with our API, but let's see if we can actually attach ourselves to that process. Let me actually see, it's been very long ago since I wrote this node internal process port. Yeah, maybe the port, la la la. Let me just take a look at my Docker Compose here. So we have a debugging port on 9, so we are actually exposing that. That is correct, yes. If we take a look at that, that's fine. What if we take a look at the Docker file in here, though? And then we do run it with inspect, right? So technically, this should be localhost. Yeah, address localhost. Yeah. I wonder if we can use host names such as this. I don't think so, but let's give it a shot. Because that's my Docker host. Now, okay. I'll just try a few things. All right, doesn't like that either. Okay, so what the hell does it like then? Let's restart this container just to see. You can see, so we are actually running it in the inspect mode. So we should be able to run some debugger here. Yeah, okay, let's try now. Yeah, and this is the expose port, right? Localhost, yeah. So technically that should be working. Address, even though that's really not HTTP, but okay. Nah. Doesn't like it, okay. Chrome attach, nodejs attached to process. Let's try that. So it should ask us to attach, but the process ID, unfortunately, here is going to be difficult because this is running in our container, right? So how the hell would we know which process is it, right? Yeah, we can't know in here, right? Yeah, I have no freaking clue. Docker attached to node. Let me just reload this. This should be, in theory, working. So I don't know what happened and when, but this used to work. Let's open the debug console. Is anything happening there when we try running this? So all of that looks fine. Spam TV friend, hey, how are you, man? I haven't seen you in a very long time. Exposing daemon on TCP without TSL legacy clients today. It also makes yourself run with code execution tags. Yeah, I don't know. That all seems great there. Kubernetes running, yeah. Yeah, super weird. Okay, I mean, let's forget about the debugging then. But I think at this point, yeah, I don't know. I really wish it works, but fuck it. For now, I'll just print this. Let's actually do it like this. I'll do this, and then I'll also do the slug, right? Well, I mean, yeah, I don't have that experience, but yeah, I mean, if your computer is not very good, yeah, for sure you wanna avoid running any containers or virtual machines on it. Definitely. For sure. Okay, let's debug manually, unfortunately. So wait, where am I? So I am under the live stream one, right? So it doesn't matter, right? I'll do it maybe after the stream, just make the debugger work again. Thanks, man. I hope you've been good, and I hope your school was good. I know when I spoke to you many months ago that you were talking something about school. Let me just, okay, so let's see what we printed here. So the slug is correct. The meetup that we got is not correct. We're getting, so we're finding a wrong thing. And I believe we're probably using find one wrong. Yeah, that's the problem, right? Yep, found it. Yeah, we're missing a where clause. And I don't know, TypeScript didn't complain. So that is the issue, yeah. That is the issue for sure. Yeah. All right, let's fix that. Well, that's what it is. That's how it is. Sometimes silly things like that. Let me just quickly skim through all of the existing ones. That's very good, man. That is very good. There is nothing better than practice, right? And yeah, also be humble, right? Out of the school, you're pretty much a massive liability to no matter who hires you. So yeah. But I'm happy for you, man. Good. Great. Great. Just make sure that you understand, right? Also what it is that you want to do in your career, right? That's very important. So make sure that again, you just finished your school and you're young, so chase knowledge, not money. Money you can't chase anyway because you don't know anything yet. So you're not worth anything in that sense like any other junior, right? So just make sure to use that time to poke around. Just make sure that you poke around, play with all of that you have access to, and then see what it is that you like, right? It's very imperative that you try a bit of hardware, a bit of software, a bit of system administration, a bit of networking, right? Anything you can get your hands on, get some general idea of what that job would look like, and then decide, and then well, you are moving. I mean, you're moving more than the majority of fellas, young fellas like yourself in your position. Of course, you're moving. Don't think that you're not, right? You don't actually know. You can conceptualize how much you're moving forward a lot. I can tell you that for sure. It's just use that opportunity now when you're still young and still don't have the family and kids and wife and or partner, whatever. And use it to discover what it is that you like. Don't be so sure that you want to be programming, right? When I worked as Cisco engineer in 2007 and 8, and that was the best job I had, in a sense of mixture of being on terrain with my people, my technicians, and being in the office programming these router boards and stuff. So don't create any assumptions just yet, right? Give it time and be open-minded, right? Don't have a perception such as oh, I'm missing out. You can't be missing out. It's especially that age. It's impossible. So be humble and just learn. I have a Raspberry Pi cluster, yeah. We have a cluster. Give me 1 second. Yeah, this is where we're gonna move programming networks soon. I started building a whole course on this. You can follow here. Yes, it does. Yeah, it's a Kubernetes cluster. So you can see we have 4 nodes, right? So we have a bunch of stuff set up on it, and that is the guide that I started writing. So this is our Kubernetes. You can see we have traffic set up on it, metal load balancer, Longhorn, and bunch of we have a Postgres cluster as well. So we have so you can see we have a cluster of 3. We have and we're using a native PG operator for that. So this is how we're clustering Postgres. And then we have, obviously here, we have the Longhorn for storage. You can see I have 6 SSDs plugged into Raspberry Pis. So here is the 4 Raspberry Pis. We have 6 SSDs. We have these volumes. And then we have traffic as an ingress controller as well. So this is our traffic. Yeah. Not much. It's not hurting it much. Actually, let's take a look at it. Because Programmer Network is a single page app, right? So if we take a look at our own performance, keep in mind Programmer Network has barely any content, right? But if we take a look at indexed pages, everything is indexed, right? We have 900 indexed pages, right? If we go to the sitemaps, I have a sitemap published. So if we go to like some of the terms here, you can see that it's nearly all indexed, right? So somebody has found me here. Of course, is our static sites of like don't listen to these generic responses like this guy wrote Next.js. I'm sure he's never actually built a single page app that needed to be efficient SEO wise. This is just generic robotic responses from YouTube and other fucking parrots just blah blahing this, right? Don't trust that bullshit, trust me. Because most of these people have never actually tried this. They're just parroting shit. They read blogs, and of course it's true. Please, no offense. No offense. But I know that you're just saying that because you've heard it, right? Just go with React, and if it's not feasible for the level of your SEO, you can always switch that code base to some static site, or you can partially render some pages yourself on the server side, right? Just don't listen to these generic responses, right? Because 99.9% of people who talk about most of the things have no idea what they're talking about. It's just, especially here on Twitch and YouTube, people are heavily influenced by just repeating the same crap that others are saying, right? So if we go here to the boards, let's focus on the tangible facts, not on opinions. So this Programmer Network has barely any content. You can see that all pages are indexed, and we have pages on first page of Google. Now, of course, because we don't have the content, there is not much for Google to show. But if we did have the content, things would be way better indexed than they are now, right? So that's of course, like if we search for SaaS Planet, for example, I don't know what this is. Okay, it's also this term is like super like right. Next is amazing. That's a relative. That's very relative, right? Depending what you mean by amazing, right? Alrighty, so we have hopefully now fixed this. This was a bug we had. Let's try this again. All right, so well, ignoring the front end bugs, at least now this crap is there, right? Let's see what actually happens. In fact, actually, if we go back here, okay, so these are just some front-end bugs. Fine, easy. Not found. Okay, so basically, because we have, I guess, so yeah, so if I end up actually going back and building this feature, finalizing this feature, we'll need to kind of set these constraints, right? Because I believe that that slug is simply too long, for example, right? So if I go back here again, foo bar, okay. So yeah, that's missing that. Yeah, okay, got it, right? So we can see that there's some issues there. It's okay. Okay, let me just review this once more. Okay, cool. So who has this? Shoots them. I don't know if you're still there, man. If you are, just say, just so we can discuss that for a second. I mean, everything is optimized naturally with your experience, right? You can only optimize as much as you are capable, right? So of course it's optimized. It's heavily optimized. But fundamentally, this is a very simple equation, right? If you are the one making technical decisions, you need to make the decision based on a way broader spectrum. Nobody makes a decision. No reasonable tech lead, SEO, CTO, team lead, tech lead makes decisions such as, is it only good for SEO, right? You need to tell me more requirements, right? In simple words, right? If we let's break this stuff down, right? So you cannot make a decision plainly like that. It's very dangerous. So listen. So you have SPA, right? And you have server-side rendered application. Depending which path you choose, you're choosing two fundamentally different worlds, right? With this new bullshit world, with this Next.js and all of this server-side bullshit, right? You're choosing a monolithic hell, right? Monolithic hell, right? So you're basically choosing what we ran away for 20 years. We ran away from WordPress and Joomla and all of this crap to run away from this monolithic hell. Somebody here in this chat is going to tell you this, man, Next.js is amazing, right? What they mean when they say that, they mean, well, I don't know how to implement most of these things myself, so I can just install that crap, install these 3 libraries, and it all works. 100% true as well. So if that's your expectation, absolutely go for it. But you have to keep business, and you have to understand fundamental difference in these two architectures. When I call my API to get a resource now, if I go to Programmer Network, right, and I call my API to get articles, I'm getting 10 kilobytes for all of it. Let's actually go here. I'm getting 600 bytes of data that my API can deliver to me while farting, right? So fundamentally, these two architectures are fundamentally different. Here, I'm not butchering my API to render the HTML, to deliver the files, to do a million things. My API is completely decoupled from the front end, meaning it has one function only in this specific context, which is query the data or talk to the n number of microservices and deliver through the front-end API what the UI needs. In your case, if you take this path, monolithic hell, right? You are fundamentally solving a lot of issues in a sense where, yeah, you can suck and still build an app because you don't need to know much. Just install this thing, install that thing, and it works. Absolutely. But you're server-side rendering everything. Also with these tools like Next.js, you're almost now pushed to use Vercel and all of these services, which are basically trying to monetize you eventually if you need to. Vercel is paying for AWS in the background, right? Vercel is using AWS, which means you're going to pay more than you would pay AWS. So anyway, I can go on about this for 10 hours. You need to figure out what it is that you want, right? What it is that you care about, right? If you care about decoupled applications, yeah, but you're running a Hello World app, man. Of course you're paying $3. These examples are irrelevant. They're not worth mentioning. You're hosting your blog there. We're talking about business, not your personal site that has 6 visits a month, right? These are two fundamentally different comparisons, right? Because Vercel is free for these types of, this guy that's paying $3 a month, he could host it for free. But we're not talking about free things, right? No business is Dockerizing their infrastructure. That doesn't exist anymore. So let's stick to the domain of business, not domain of Hello World projects at home, right? So businesses are not Dockerizing their apps because that would take a long time. It would require a DevOps guy or guys to maintain that infrastructure. It's very expensive to just Dockerize, as you said it. Why don't you just Dockerize it? You can just Dockerize it for your Hello World app. You don't just Dockerize things for data sensitive, secure, scalable, etc., etc., etc. apps. So I'm talking now in the domain of business. What we do at home, I never talk about in this stream. So what we are doing at home, all of us, please, I'm not including you guys, I'm including myself into this. Nobody cares. Let's never discuss this. If you're building some shitty blog that you're going to host, you can do whatever you want. I don't care, right? When I do these presentations, I'm talking about real apps that actually have users that need to be secure, scalable, fault tolerant, and many other things, right? What you do in your free time, that's not worth talking about because it's meaningless, right? Shoots them, yeah. I would need more context. Again, if it's just some e-commerce that's going to see 5 people a month or 10, then we shouldn't even waste time discussing this, right? Then build whatever you want. So I'm talking about so many things here. I'm also talking about one of the most important things when it comes to production and enterprise and business world, which is delegation of things, ownership of things, right? When you build a decoupled application like this, you have a front-end application, you have microservices. Delegating these tasks and ownership becomes way easier. You usually have an SPA team, you have a front-end team that often maintains the API as well, which is also front-end facing API. You can almost think of it as a gateway, right? So please don't misunderstand me. No, I'm not suggesting that you should never use Next.js or anything like that. I'm just showing here why people use it and when can it make sense, right? If we're talking about large-scale things, this becomes very painful because monoliths in general become painful. So we're talking about scale, we're talking about enterprise. I'm not talking about hosting a site that has 1,000 users. Nobody cares, right? So if that's your use case, shoots them. If you need some e-commerce site that's going to have few hundred people a month, then it doesn't matter what you pick. Just go with this, right? Okay, let me just read this question. It's an interesting question. What do you think about way newer frameworks like Phoenix Analyst? Live views send data through the WebSocket. But why? So Prime Gaming, why, man? Like, and please, this is not a critique. I genuinely want to understand your reasoning. What do you mean blazing fast? Let me give you an example. If I go to Programmer Network now, right? This is my platform that I'm building inside of this stream. Everything loads instantly. This is reactjs without anything. This is a library that I'm using that's been built over a decade ago. When you say blazing fast, what I can decipher from that is that other things inherently are not blazing fast. Can you show me the website that you have built or using that's not blazing fast? Like GitHub, for example, is built in plain JavaScript. Would you say that this is blazing fast? Of course, they have a feed here and stuff that has nothing to do. But would you say that this is not blazing fast? This is plain JavaScript. They don't even have WebSockets for notifications. They're using polling. So when a bunch of you guys share these, at least your vocabulary, when you say it's blazing fast, what does that mean? What does this exactly mean? Okay, it's really fun to work with. I can align with that, I guess. If you like it, that's great. But when you say it's blazing fast, what do you mean? Have you actually... Well, first and foremost, right, you mentioned WebSockets, right? WebSockets are incredibly difficult to scale, right? I worked with WebSockets many years ago on one job that was very heavy. Keep in mind, these things, they don't just come for free, right? Like, no matter what your use case is, handling WebSockets or any protocol like that is not a piece of cake, right? This becomes incredibly painful to scale at one point, right? Then you either have to pay some WebSocket service that does this for you, or you have to have people to do it, right? So I don't know about Phoenix. I don't follow modern frameworks because I don't honestly care much. I guess it's Phoenix.js. What else? Yeah, I've never heard of this. Sorry, let me put the volume down. Yeah, whatever. But either way, no matter what, right? I generally don't use terminology blazing fast because I don't think that that's a prerequisite for anybody. There's really nothing that's not blazing fast. There is no library out there that's not blazing fast for 99.9% of the cases. There is no language out there that is not blazing fast for most people's use cases, right? Now, the problem with content creators, the problem with YouTubers, Twitch streamers is that it's not actually cool to say things that I'm saying, right? That's not really that's not cool. That's not like, it's way more cool to say fucking shitty JavaScript, fuck Java, Rust is the best. I get that, right? But I'm a practical person, right? I'm a pragmatic developer. My experience past 2 decades have taught me that nearly anything you use is blazing enough. Unless, of course, you're taking hyper-successful companies or streaming services such as Netflix or whatever, where they need to optimize because the nature of the system itself is just such that if you don't optimize, it's going to be really bad experience. So it's not that they're optimizing because they're like optimization obsessed. They're optimizing because their service would suck and they would lose customers. So fundamentally, when we talk about blazing fast things, everything is right. So this is what I try to often share with people in this stream, is a sense of dose of reality, right? And that might not be cool. You know, people like to go to streams where they can see a modern framework every 10 minutes. React.js, Vue.js, Angular.js, plain JavaScript, whatever. These things suffice for 99.9999% of cases, right? For 20 years working full-time, almost by this point, I have rarely met any of the tools I used. I wrote Haskell, I wrote C, I wrote C++, I wrote C#, I wrote PHP for a long time, very long ago. I wrote Pascal, a lot of JavaScript, Python, etc., etc., etc. I don't think that I've ever faced performance issues of a language, if performance issues existed, they were a fault of a person, or they were a fault of a person modeling the data model wrong, which resulted in the API naturally being slow. Because if your API needs to query a query that's super slow, then API cannot make the database faster. So fundamentally, it's almost never ever that you're going to find your API being slow. It's going to be 50 other things that are slow. One of your databases, or 5 of them if you might be using graph database like Neo4j or Postgres or Mongo or Cassandra or whatever. You might be waiting for some image processing service. But when we talk about APIs and these things, nobody cares, right? You can use nearly anything in most cases. Should you? Of course not. I'm not like just suggesting use whatever. Of course, there are better languages than others, and easier languages and more maintainable languages. Sure, we all agree on that. But I'm saying if you want to talk about performance, it's pointless because it's not really a bottleneck, right? That's also a problem. And the ORMs actually exist for 2 reasons. They're easy to work with, right? They're convenient, and then they cover up for the lack of knowledge of databases, right? Because anyone can install Mongoose or SQLize or any of these things and just, yeah, fuck it. I don't need to know how to write queries. I can just, so yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But anyway, as I always say, just try to build things. Focus on building rather than wasting your life with technologies. You will notice, especially for those of you who are not so long in this industry, you might be excited about these new things, but these new things are coming out every year and they will never stop coming out. So you might be thinking, oh, I'm using the latest thing now. Well, you are until next year, right? So better pick a tool that's stable. Pick a tool, always invest your time in a tool that's backed up by large corporations, because large corporations from top down dictate how majority of the other companies on the planet will behave. So most tech companies will always look up to Google, to Facebook, to all of these companies. So if Facebook is investing billions of dollars into React, you probably want to invest into React as well, because of hiring, because of community, because of so many things, right? The hardest thing about new libraries is their adoption. I'm sure that there are many other libraries out there which are in theory, let's say, better than Vue.js, React, Angular, but their biggest problem is adoption, because to adapt the technology to the community, you need to spend literally billions of dollars. Now you need to, like, it's almost impossible, right? So actually, I wouldn't suggest you to watch my live sessions. I'm going to start recording this course soon. So I'm going to actually summarize it. I'm going to summarize this soon in a YouTube video series. So I suggest you wait a little bit, because I think if you watch my live streams, it's going to be way too long of time and you're going to get bored. Lenso, for sure, man, for sure. Whenever you need a query that goes so this is how I think about ORMs, right? So ORM really is awesome for one thing, right? ORM is really amazing for CRUD, for generic CRUD. So this is really awesome. So when you have generic CRUD, this is amazing. Once you have more complex stuff, don't use it. Write plain raw queries. And that's the simple rule. If you stick to this rule, it's going to be great. So create an article, write a blog post, get a blog post, delete a blog post. All of these generic things, ORM. Anything more complex, write basic. Yes, we do have a Kubernetes cluster. We have a Kubernetes cluster. Where is my camera? This is our cluster here. We're gonna host. We're gonna move Programmer Network there. So Programmer Network is gonna be hosted here. I don't think that no. So short answer, no. But I need to be very careful on how to give you that response, because you need to define. We need to define definitions. Definitions are very important. So you would need to define what bad means. Like if you say they're not bad, like will they not, right? But no, in short, they're not bad. No. I actually can't wait tomorrow that we get back to Kubernetes. We actually haven't exposed the cluster yet outside, so we're gonna do the Cloudflare NS. So we're gonna do the we're gonna do the NS through Cloudflare. So we're gonna do it through. So we're gonna do traffic K3s NS Cloudflare. So we're gonna use, I don't remember the name of the package, but we're gonna do it through Cloudflare. Yeah. So we haven't done that yet. I mean, the cluster, as I show you, is here. So we have the 4 nodes, and you know, if you follow my guide, you can see this is Raspberry Pi 1, and then there we have 4 of them. Yeah, exactly, Phil. Yeah. K3s is Kubernetes just for lightweight devices. So we're running K3s. And not because it's optimized for the edge, as you can see, Internet of Things, CI, and ARM. So it is Kubernetes, just more kind of narrowed down to run on, you know, on a cluster like this, right? All right. Okay, good. So where's the meetups? Yeah, meetups are here. Okay. So did I deploy that to production? Yeah, I did. And I deployed this to production as well. Yeah. Unfortunately, not 5s, they're 4s by 8. Yeah, so it's 32 gigs of RAM, but yes, our RP is 4 because I bought these like maybe a year ago or so. At one point, when we add 4 more, I'm going to buy the 5s, yes. So once the programmer network actually gets some traction, and once we need that stuff, then we'll move it there, yeah. I have not heard of that NSD. No idea. I mean, keep in mind, like when you say I want to develop on Raspberry Pi, you need to be just a little bit careful. What do you mean by that, right? Like I hope that you don't want to develop your web apps on Raspberry Pi, because that's not really a good idea, right? So you don't want to be doing Vita, or you don't want to be compiling your code on Raspberry Pis. Like, so I'm just talking about if you want to be efficient, you definitely don't want to do that on your Raspberry Pis, right? Because they're lightweight computers, right? They're not meant to provide the efficiency of a MacBook Pro or whatever, right? So that's not going to be that of a great experience, right? Because you have, you know, this computer from which I'm streaming is like 16-core CPU, you know, DDR, like just a brutal computer. So it would be uncomparable if I go now into one of my Raspberry Pis and I try to compile this here, right? Nice. I see. Low-code programming for whenever, but for playing with it like this, amazing. I have not heard about this, no. Okay, I'm not going to be spending time on this now. No, I mean, no, it's not. It's not going to be, right? I'm not saying that you can't do it, right? I'm just saying I don't think it's comparable from a modern computer, right? That's the only thing I mean. So if you really care about the speed totally, like to being as efficient as possible, it's not comparable, right? So actually what we could do tomorrow, in a stream, if in case I actually stream, I don't know yet. I don't know how I'm going to feel tomorrow, but we could start moving some of these services to our Kubernetes, right? We could start. The only thing we're missing now as part of Kubernetes to actually run Programmer Network would be the Redis. And we would need some K3s Redis operator, right? Give me 1 second. Okay, give me 2 seconds. So maybe what we could do... Lanzo, my friend, thank you very much for staying, dude. I appreciate you very much. So actually, yeah, so we will need to probably, we'll see. I don't actually want to set up a Redis cluster. I mean, yeah, we'll need to see, but we need Redis. I need Redis because my infrastructure needs it now. So we'll see, maybe tomorrow we can do that. And then there's a bunch of stuff here on the platform that I want to do. And one of them actually is just start using the meetup feature for my own stream so people can actually find and see what we're going to do. Do you know what's been struggling with the recent months? I don't know if this trend is also happening with you. Unprepared people who give their opinions, you have to sit with them to... Yeah, I mean, NSD, like, I generally don't try to explain anything to anyone. I think it's maybe rather a matter of personal perception, right? People are people, right? We live in the times when I mean, in order to not get affected by that NSD, you need to understand that, and I know that you do. I'm not trying to be condescending. I'm not trying to school you. I'm just, maybe my wording is not correct. I don't know. I can't find better words now. But we live in a consumeristic times in the context of everything now, not just tangible things. Like information is no longer... I remember again 5-10 years ago when I was mentoring, I was almost rich just by charging by hour. Today, content is everywhere. The data is everywhere. Nobody actually gives a shit about anything anymore. So people consume this information in 2 seconds, form opinions very quickly, right? And then, they right? So, and, I live by that saying, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one, right? So everybody has opinions and... right, so who cares, man? Like you need to guard yourself against it. Everybody has opinions, man. Literally, they are like assholes. Everybody has one, right? So I mean, what can you do, right? At work, I mean, I don't have this problem, right? I don't know. Maybe my kid and my wife and whatever are I don't argue with anyone, man. I don't know. Especially not at work. I have a very stable team at work. Amazing team. I wouldn't change it for anything in the context of that. So at work it's really good. It's really good at work. All right. Okay, there's shit tons of stuff. I mean, now when I'm back a little bit doing this Programmer Network platform again, and by the way, guys, make sure if you haven't to sign up, please. Make sure to sign up. I would appreciate it. There's a lot of stuff, and I think a lot of these things I'll need to do off stream because, yeah, I don't have a solution now, so I'll need to draw them. I'll need to plan them. So for that. But some of these features are nearly done, and I really want to start using them. Then I'm going to start organizing a physical meetup here in Copenhagen. You pronounce it garbage. Garbage. Like, no, I'm just kidding. Garbage. It's like with ch. That's like a Balkan last name, surname. Okay, fuck that then. Better synergy with TypeScript and AGV. Let me see if there's something that... Yes, I live in Ama. I live by the beach in Copenhagen, yes. Okay, so this is actually also fixed. Yes, sir, in Ama. Yep. Oh shit, man, we never finalized our task runner. I have 2 colleagues from Malmo who work in my team, Lee and Johan. They travel over the bridge every morning to get to work by train. I used to live in Sweden for 5 years almost, in Helsingborg. Yeah, man, I need to finish this microservice. I had a lot of fun with this. This is based on this bull.js, bullmq.js. It's like a messaging system like PubSub or RabbitMQ and stuff. Yeah, I know Skåne, man. I used to live in Nyhamnsläge and in Mulle in Sweden. Mulle like a berg, so, and Helsingborg as well. I love Sweden, man. Some of my best friends are from Sweden, actually. Andreas and a bunch of them. I love Swedish people. Report system. We need to design a reporting system that will be semi-manual and semi-automatic. Yeah, we don't need that now. Image classification. I think this I have done and implemented already. I think this microservice is actually running. Yeah, it is. I think we also have it running in production and locally. Where is it? So this is, yeah, image classifier. Yeah. So this is also working. I'm sorry, I'm just going to go quickly to a few things. And if you have any questions, please ask. No, oh, dude, shit. I want us to move to Nostr and ActivityPub to be truly decentralized. So once we move this platform from all the cloud providers and we keep it in our own way, we encrypt it how we want, then we can start doing Nostr. If you don't know, Nostr is a decentralized protocol built by these guys at Twitter back then. So I really want to use Nostr and also ActivityPub, which I know nothing about. But there is this thing. This is a Web3C committee designed protocol for, as you can see, don't you miss the days when you blah. It's ActivityPub is a decentralized social networking protocol based on the activity streams, blah, blah. So one day, hopefully, we're going to get to that point. I really would like that. Projects, GDB or consent. Okay, by the way, centric.js, maybe before I go today, maybe we could actually centric.js open source or whatever. Could we apply for this? Okay, let's try to apply for this. Fuck, where do we? Nonprofit education, maybe. I guess let's create an account with our programmer network email. Programmer, maybe I actually probably have it already. Hi at programmer network. Probably I'll have it. You already logged. Oh, I see. Okay. Nah, shit. No, that's a wrong account. That's a wrong account. All right, never mind. Let me just write this down on a piece of paper here. Then I'll do it after the stream. So we need to switch to Sentry. And I'll ask them if they can support us. I'll just advertise them in the stream. So what is this? Sentry for open source or whatever. So Sentry for open source. All right, cool. We'll do that then. Then I need to remove these things, and then I need to work on the UI for this. I'll probably do that off stream. And we actually, if we just go very quickly to to our Kubernetes repository. I have a huge research list here. So we still need to set up the S3 backup there. Oh yeah, last time I streamed about Kubernetes, it was about setting up the, what was it called? Shit, man, what was it? What was it called? Scaffold, right? This is what we wanted to set up. I think Phil was here, so I think maybe next or one of the next streams. Yeah, we have. I have Kubernetes cluster here. And I started writing this guide as well, so you can take out. It's not complete yet, but so yeah, we need to set up. So we need to set up Scaffold, learn it, because once we move Programmer Network to our Kubernetes and we want to develop and stuff, we need to kind of have a good developer experience, right? And Scaffold, I believe, is the most popular. So I think next time we see each other, we'll probably do this, and then in the meanwhile, I'll off stream. I'll code this off stream. This stuff. Yeah, I don't actually know. Give me just 2 seconds. I'm just approving some PR from my colleague on my phone. No. All right, guys, I think I'm gonna go. I think I want to actually do this off stream, the design part. I don't want to, unless you guys have questions. Let's actually see if there's any questions and you guys need some help from me. Otherwise, I don't feel like I'm never gonna do the design on the stream, because it's not fun. It's not fun. People are usually not involved, and actually most people are not involved now in the stream apart from a few of you. So let's just round up. It's also pointless because oftentimes I feel I'm talking to myself, and I love when more people are engaged than actually watching. It's because oftentimes it feels like almost like bots are watching me. But for those of you who were active and stuff, thank you guys. Joker, good to see you. Phil, C1, NSD, I don't know if any of you are still here. I wish you a good night, a good day wherever you are, and I'm going to go and code a bit of stream and finish some of these things and enjoy it, and I'll see you guys some other time. Maybe tomorrow, maybe over the weekend. I don't actually know. But if you care to know, join the Discord. I think it's here. Otherwise, don't. It's up to you. Good night, everybody. I'll see you another time. Peace out. Bye-bye. Sounds good, man.